Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Fox, and I thought that I would get on here this morning and tell you about a little show that my husband and I, Mr. Fox and I, are enjoying so much. So, we've been talking a whole lot about And Just Like That and how much we hate it, but there are other things on television to watch that are quite good. And it, he reminded me as we sat down last night after our lovely dinner that he made for me. We had roast chicken and salad and potatoes. And after we tucked the kids snug in their beds, we sat down with a glass of wine to catch up on one of our favorite shows. And that is Around the World in 80 Days on PBS. It is a PBS Masterpiece Theater show, which I don't think I've ever seen a Masterpiece Theater show I didn't love. Um, you know, Going back to, oh, what's the name of it with that super hot guy? Oh my God, I'm gonna forget. How do I forget the super hot ones? Um, the one with the he loses his family, and I'm totally gonna screw this up. The how do I not know? Ross Poldark. If you haven't seen Poldark, that's another one. Woohoo! Whew, very lovely show, good show. But Around the World in 80 Days is truly awesome, so let's get to it. Alright, so it stars David Tennant, and David Tennant, by the way, is just a fantastic actor. I love the sets in this. It's a period piece, so of course, that's one of the things I love about it. I love period dramas, period anything with the costumes. I love watching the costumes, and right away, at the beginning of this show, we meet Phileas Fogg, played by David Tennant, and he's one of my favorite actors, and so I would pretty much watch him in anything. I have never been disappointed in anything I've seen him in. He had a wonderful murder series on the BBC, and again, I don't remember what it was called. I'm getting old, I don't have a good memory. You guys will know in the comments. I'm sure you'll remind me what was that series he played the cop on that he was really good. Anyway, in this show, he's Phileas Fogg, and you can see he's a bit of he's definitely a high-born gentleman. He is and there's this really funny, introduction to him where this super old valet, I don't know how to say it, I think it's valet, comes in to help him get ready, and he's super old and shuffling and spilling the coffee, and he can barely get the buttons done on his shirt, but still, he's sitting there like this, waiting for him to do it. And it is kind of funny, that a certain type of gentleman, couldn't even get himself dressed, and so right away, there's this humor in it, that is lovely. And anyway, we see this recurring thing that happens with this postcard that has the word "coward" written on it, and we're 4 episodes in, and we still don't know where that card comes from. We meet some of the main characters in the first episode. We meet them all in the first episode. Abigail Fix. This is Abigail Fix. Her father is the um, editor of a large newspaper, and she is trying to break in to journalism, and he keeps on publishing her articles under his name because he believes that no one will read them or take them seriously if they have a woman's name on them. So, of course, she is fighting that tooth and nail. She's a sweet character. Love Abigail Fix. And then we meet Passepartout, who is the man on the left. He is running from something, and we still don't know what. And it's so you kind of have this idea that there's something going on in his background. He's wanted somewhere, you don't know why. And he overhears Phileas in need of a valet or valet. I don't know how to say it. I still don't know how to say it. I think it's valet. I keep wanting to say valet though, but that's the guy that parks your car, right? Not the one who gets you dressed. So he overhears Phileas say that he needs a valet, and so he pretends to be from the service in order to get the job, and he gets the job, and it's great. So there's a lot of these scenes with the men's club and these really smoky rooms with the leather chairs. Love it. I don't know where they filmed this, but there's some incredible here, I think I have one here. There. Just incredible sets, right? I mean, this is so beautiful. The lighting is so good. I mean, I guess this is so this show, this is kind of what I wanted. the Gilded Age to be. And it so far it really hasn't lived up to that. There appear to be too many green screens in the Gilded Age and not enough, on location sets, that made Downton Abbey so fantastic and that is making this show so fantastic. Um, but anyway, so the Smoky Men's Club, he's there, Phileas is there, and he's reading the column that was written by Abigail Fix that's under her father's name, and he's kind of sticking up for her, telling her father that, she should be allowed to have her own column because it's very interesting work, and she was writing a column about traversing the world by different methods, and that it's going to be done in a short period of time pretty soon, and Fogg is saying, I think it can be done," and eventually a bet happens where he says, "Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna traverse the world in 80 days." And there's a bet that happens, and Abigail asked to go along on this journey to follow Fogg, and her father finally acquiesces and says he will print her stories that she sends back with her name on it. So this is setting up the adventure they're all going to start going on. This is when Passepartout meets um, Fogg and says that he's from the service, which of course he isn't, and he's not a valet, he's never had any experience, so he has to learn on the fly, but he keeps telling him he's the best there is. Um, and they set off almost immediately for Paris. Paris is their first, um, destination, and of course, when they get there, the French are revolting as usual. I got such a kick out of this. We were laughing so hard because we had just watched, I never can we call it The Funny Guys because that's what my kid calls it. That's not the name of it, though. It's the show, the car show with the hilarious guys from England, and I don't know what it's called anymore. Again, I can't remember anything, but they did this episode about French cars, and of course, they showed all the French protests going on. Nothing has changed in France. They're just protesting all the time. So they run into, and this is consistent with other um, episodes, is that every place they go, they run into some kind of problem, right? Where it's going to get in the way of their plans, you know? And so in France, it happens to be some revolution is happening, and they get mugged by children, and it's very, very funny. We laughed so much, and look at this awesome hot air balloon. I mean, you knew this had to be coming. I was waiting for this moment the whole show, for the gorgeous hot air balloon shots, which do not disappoint. And so this episode 1 really sets off the adventure, and what happens after that, so far we're 4 episodes in, and I think it's fantastic. I've had no complaints about the show whatsoever. I think it's very well written. It's very humorous. There's no woke stuff being shoved down your throat, although there are obvious social issues being presented, um, as far as the way that Black people are treated and also women are treated at that time in history, and it's lovely. It works really well because it's not being shoved down your throat, it's just simply a part of the story, and it's portrayed as historically accurate. But I don't think you could get a better type of show than this. This is a great show. If you have not watched it and you don't have a PBS Masterpiece, subscription, it's worth it. I think you can get it on Amazon Prime for a couple bucks a month. It's not bad. What I do is I just, like, if I wanna watch something on Masterpiece, I'll sign up for that, and I'll cancel one of my other channels that I haven't watched in a while, and then I'll go back, just depending. I love that about digital, streaming because you can really pick and choose what you want. So let me know if you like this show, if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it and you wanna check it out, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. But it's definitely one of those shows that is appealing to both men and women, so, your boring spouse, the one that and just like that tells you you should leave instead of sitting on the couch and watching Netflix with them. I do not agree. I think you should stay on the couch and watch good shows, and this is one of them. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.